Greetings everybody, Richard Fulmer here, and welcome to another Richard's Rock Rambles. So I thought I'd do it outside today on the stoep here, on the porch. The sun seems to be coming through, although I don't know, spring's taking its time coming through this year. It's like winter's here to stay. But yeah, we're getting there. We've had a lot of rain now. All the dams are 100% full, so time out for the rain. Anyway, on to the music. So we can have another look at two great jazz rock fusion albums. And the first one we're going to check out is from guitar maestro Meola, and the album is called Elegant Gypsy. And I was listening to this last night and I'd forgotten what an incredible album this is. I mean, the chops on this record are just scary. So that's the album cover there. That's what I'm talking about, Elegant Gypsy. And this came out in 1977. Some big names on this album as well. Apart from Meola, obviously, he's such a great guitar player, whether it's on the electric or the acoustic. Not many tracks. I think there's 7 tracks, 7 or 8 tracks. Produced, arranged and directed by Meola, so he was very involved with this. But just how some of these names: Jan Hammer, obviously on keyboards, Steve Gadd on drums. Well, the great Steve Gadd played on so many jazz rock albums and jazz albums. Guy by the name of Anthony Jackson on bass, seriously good bassist. Mingo Lewis, Lenny White, Barry Miles, and Paco de Lucia. Now that name should ring a bell. Meola, Paco de Lucia, and John McLaughlin did that famous Friday Night in San Francisco acoustic live album, which was stunning. Some of the best acoustic live work you'll ever hear. Jaw-dropping stuff. And that was off the back of a studio album that all three did called Passion, Grace and Fire, is I think what the name was. So that's the back cover. There's all the Meola with the Elegant Gypsy, I presume that's supposed to be, and that's her in the front there. And yeah, sharing a nice glass of wine. So let's go through the tracks and tell you who plays what on where. Let's put that down. There's another great shot of him with his Gibson Les Paul, and the tone he gets on this guitar is just stunning. So the first track is called Flight Over Rio, and that's composed by Mingo Lewis, and that's about 7 minutes and 10 seconds and change. It starts off very mellow, but then around the 1 minute 48 minutes mark, 48 second mark, just takes off. And the guitar work is, as you would expect, incredible. So on this track you've got Meola on electric guitar, Jan Hammer on electric piano and mini Moog, Steve Gadd drums, Anthony Jackson bass guitar. Bass guitar on this track is amazing, as it is throughout the whole album. Mingo Lewis on congas, background synthesizers, ARP Odyssey, whatever that is, ARP sequencer, and a percussion and organ. Great track to kick off the album. In fact, there's, you're talking about congas and stuff from Mingo Lewis. There are quite a few tracks on this album that remind me of Santana. I was trying to think, 77 Santana would have brought out, was it Inner Secrets or Marathon or Moonflower, around that period. And yeah, perhaps that was a bit of an influence for Meola on this album, but you can definitely hear the percussion work is very Santana-like. So that's a very cool track. Then it goes into Midnight Tango. This one's composed by Meola, 6 minutes long. Pretty much the same lineup as the first track, although Lenny White is here on drums. And Lenny White, I think, was also part of Return to Forever. Anthony Jackson on bass guitar, another great track. Then you get a sort of a percussion intro into the next track called Mediterranean Sundance. And there you get Mingo Lewis on congas and shakers and Lenny White on timbales. Very much a Santana thing. And then you get Mediterranean Sundance, and this is where Paco de Lucia comes in on his acoustic guitar, and him and Meola trade licks on the acoustic guitar, which is just, yeah, it's amazing. So that's about 5 minutes long. So you got Meola acoustic guitar, first solo on the right side, and then Paco de Lucia acoustic guitar, second solo on the left side. So that's quite cool. As you're listening on the headphones, you can see who's doing what. Then for me, the standout track on this album, the one that really blew me away. I mean, as I said before, I'm a sort of a late bloomer when it comes to jazz rock fusion. But I'm so glad I got this album. I've actually got a live version of this next track on a live older Meola album, but the studio is just as good. It's called Race with the Devil on Spanish Highway. You listen to this and it's like, okay, Yingui Malmsteen, who? You know, this guy, he wrote the book. Composed by Aldo Meola again. He's there on electric guitar and timbalas, Mingo Lewis on congas, Lenny White drums, Barry Miles electric piano, acoustic piano, Mini Moog, and Anthony Jackson once again on the bass. Yeah, if I think about that track now, you start getting goosebumps. It's just amazing stuff. There's a lot of melody, but there's also some serious chops here. You know, this guy doesn't play around. Then you get Lady of Rome, Sister of Brazil. That's a sort of a short piece, an acoustic guitar piece, 1 minute and 44 seconds. And then the album finishes off with the elegant Gypsy Suite. So that's Aldo Meola on electric, 6 and 12 string guitars, acoustic piano, percussion. Jan Hammer's again there on some nice electric piano, nice touches from Jan Hammer. Obviously, he also did albums with Jeff Beck. And, yeah, great keyboardist. Steve Gadd on drums, Mingo Lewis on congas, timbalas and cowbell, and Anthony Jackson on bass guitar. Just want to see if there's anything else I can tell you here. Recorded Electric Lady Studios, Jimi Hendrix's studios. I must say the recording of this album is really good. Crystal clear, just what you want for this kind of music. And yeah, that's about it. So that was the first one. If you're into guitar, really good guitar, electric guitar and acoustic, this is one to get. The next one we're going to check out is a drummer. And I need to get more from this guy because he's released a lot of solo stuff. Mr. Billy Cobham. And the album called Spectrum. Now the reason I first got into this album is because it features one of my favorite guitarists, short-lived guitarist for Deep Purple. Brought out a few solo albums, played in the James Gang as well. Of course, I'm talking about Tommy Bolin. And he plays some smoking guitar on this album. Also, not many tracks, 9 or 10 tracks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 10 on the Atlantic label. There's old Billy Cobham, and that's the front cover, Spectrum. And then on the inside, there's a shot of Billy with his kit. And it just tells you the rest about what's on the album. So let's just see what's going on here. So the personnel on this album are Billy Cobham, percussion obviously on drums, Tommy Bolin, guitar, Jan Hammer once again on electric piano and acoustic piano and Moog synthesizer, Leland Sklar on Fender bass. He's the guy with that very long beard. He's played for Toto and he's played for, geez, so many people. And there's acoustic piano on the track called Red Baron. I'm just trying to see if there's anybody else featured on here. Joe Farrell, flute and soprano sax on Spectrum. Ray Barretto on congas. Also recorded at Electric Lady Studios. Or did I mention that previously? Or was that the other one? Getting very confused here today. That's because I'm outside. No. Same recording studio, Electric Radio. So that was quite in demand, I think, in the 70s. Hadn't been built for that long. I think it was built in 1970. So the tracks on here, Quadrant 4, which is the kickoff track, and geez, the drumming is just out of the... It's gone. I mean, Billy Cobham, he wrote the book on jazz rock drumming. Then you got Searching for the Right Door. So that's quite a lengthy one, 6 minutes and 33. Oh, by the way, on that Quadrant 4, there's some incredible interplay between Jan Hammer on keyboards and Tommy Bolin on guitar. Some of Tommy Bolin's runs are just seriously fast. I mean, that guy had so much talent. It's just so sad that he died at such a young age. I think he died in 76. And when did this come out? 73. So, yeah, not long after this album. Stint with Deep Purple, Into the Drugs, and that was that. So then on side 1 you get Anxiety and a Turian Matador. Side 2, Stratus. That's 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Another brilliant track. Excellent percussion work on that. Excuse me. Then you get To the Woman in My Life, Lalise, Snoopy Search, and Red Baron, which is sort of a A and a B for that last Snoopy Search. All selections written by Bill Cobham, William E. Cobham, Bill Cobham, and yeah, stunning album. I got this eventually at I'm trying to think where I got this, either at a vinyl fair or somebody gave this to me, but well worth checking out because I only ever had it on my hard drive, I think. It's yeah, another well produced album. As I said, some stellar guitar work here from Tommy Bolin. He was very into his jazz. I think he also did an album with Alphonse Mouzon, also played on that. So he sort of dabbled in jazz quite a bit, didn't just do the rock stuff. So there we go, another two great jazz rock fusion albums, Elder Meola and Billy Cobham. Of course, Billy Cobham also played for the Mahavishnu Orchestra, John McLaughlin's Mahavishnu Orchestra, and still playing today. I think he's still around. I'm not sure if he still records, but I think he does still play. Very innovative drummer, quite a groundbreaking guy as well. That's it, guys. Take it easy. Please, down below, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or like, and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, I shall see you soon. I need more coffee. Take it easy. Bye-bye.